Hello. So I just want to welcome everyone watching. This is our Instagram Live with Brandon Boyd, and we'll be talking about some of his newly framed work and the very surprising print release. So Brandon, the last time we spoke to you was April, which was your Impossible Knots debut here in Dallas. So tell us a little bit about what you've been doing, new artwork you've been working on.
I have just been, sorry, I'm turning up my volume a little bit. I've been here in California riding this whole thing out with the rest of us.
I know, pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's very strange times, and not just a global pandemic, but everything else that's been happening. But, you know, I've just been here at home, making music and continuing to paint and bonding with my dog. You know,
oh, well, we all love that.
Yeah. How's everything with you guys in Texas?
Sorry, I didn't quite hear you there.
How's everything with you guys in Texas?
It's great. We've been open here at the gallery. We are not by appointment, so anyone who would like to come in can come in. And I know we have a lot of people who weren't able to see your Impossible Knots collection, which we still have here. So if they would like to come in and see that, they still can. But yeah, we've been doing really well, all wearing masks, being safe, you know, being really cautionary. Kind of riding this all out, navigating through it all, much like you guys are, just like everyone else is. Yeah. We don't know what's going to happen, but at least we know we're kind of all in it together.
Absolutely. That offers some semblance of peace, knowing that we're all kind of in this together.
Yeah, exactly. I think I would say that, you know, because this is such an unusual time for all of us, people have kind of been looking to art more and more and kind of getting more creative in so many different ways. And I definitely know that you have, just based on what we've been shown, but kind of talk to us about your creative process and in a minute, walk us through some of the new artworks that we're going to show.
Sure. My process, that's a good question. It's my day, you know, I suppose I've been in process sort of and working on that process my entire life. I've been slowly but surely kind of honing not only my technical skills as an artist and in whatever way that needs to manifest, whether it's in visual form with paintings and drawings and things, or with music.
Right.
I've been honing that process, and for me, part of it has been creating environments, and I've talked a lot about this in the past, but I enjoy creating environments that are conducive to creativity and that kind of welcome in muse. So part of that process, like I said, is honing the technical skills and the practicing and things like that. But I'd say the biggest part of it is remaining kind of like an open vessel, like trying to be as open and clean as a vessel as I know how to be. So those kind of inspirations from the universe rush through and we can make things out of them, you know.
Oh, well, we know all about creations from the universe here at Sam and Lynne, and we feel really lucky to be showing some of your newly framed artworks. I actually, before we jump into Bruja, I'd really like to talk about this artwork behind me called I Know It. To kind of talk about with us the detail about it. I mean, it's really fascinating. There's a lot going on in this picture and it's beautiful. So talk about your medium and what you kind of went about when you created this artwork.
This is the first time I'm seeing it framed. It looks lovely framed.
It looks amazing.
So this is a piece that I started working on probably 6.5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I was living in Venice Beach at the time, and it started with sketch of those female friends of mine in the picture, and then the rabbits emerged, and then the sketch of the houses. I think those were like the rooftops of Venice Beach. And then I rolled it up, put it on a giant piece of paper. I rolled it up and put it in storage, and it was in storage for like 5 years or something.
Oh
I
my
sort of
God.
forgot. And then when I moved up into the Santa Monica Mountains about 4.5 years ago. When I was unpacking, I unrolled it, and it was one of those things where I was like, why didn't I finish this? This is a really good sketch. So I really just dove back into it. And I suppose I was alluding to this idea of like an extrasensory perception that's available to us if we're open to it. And then you can kind of see at the lower part of the painting, it says ESP. And then hence the person in gold with the vision all through his chest, basically proclaiming, I knew it. That's like the idea of it.
So I can't believe that you had this in storage for 5 years, and then you were like, okay, I'm creating this, and then you were like, well, I gotta put it away. But then it came back and you were like, well, here we are. And now it's here at SLG, perfectly framed and looking fantastic.
Yeah.
So the main reason that we have you here today is to talk about the Bruja print, which we have the original right here at SLG. People were really excited to find out that this was the print that you were releasing. So talk about, I love this image. I think it's beautiful. It's a beautiful artwork. So what was your creative process behind this one?
Thank you, by the way. Oh, wow. This is the first time I'm seeing it framed too. It looks really nice. Good job, you guys. This was, I have a couple of different ways that I work. Sometimes I will do sketches of friends or loved ones based on them just sort of sitting in front of me. But more often than not, especially over the past few years, I've been doing sequences of photographs. And so I can study the photograph a little bit longer and pull certain themes out of it that I wouldn't be able to just when someone's sitting there for a few minutes in front of me. I get to kind of obsess over the photograph. So with this one, I was photographing my girlfriend Sarah, and I had her making different shapes with her arms and covering her face and reaching up towards the sky. And there's actually a handful of pieces that I did with this sequence of photographs with her. But I originally was trying to create some kind of like almost like a Shiva-esque or a many-armed
Yes,
god
that's
or
exactly what I
goddess.
thought of too.
Yeah, and then
Well, it's such a...
I could
Go ahead.
have stopped. Sorry, I could have stopped at one point, and then I started throwing acrylic paint on top of the watercolor, and then I thought I fucked it up, but I just kept moving with it, and I started letting the lines get looser and looser, and then something kind of magical emerged. And in that magic, I started to deduce that she was more like a good witch, harnessing the darkness and bringing it into the light. So hence, Bruja.
I know, she almost looks, the way that you've sketched it and then painted it, it looks almost like she's a divine being, which I really love looking at that.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that you've done this and then kind of given her almost like a third eye, like an open chakra, which I think is really interesting. And it's so beautiful to see framed.
Thank you.
Finally.
Thank you. That's the idea, yeah.
Next slide. Show the print.
And then, so this is the original, but we do have the print right here.
Nice. It looks just like the original.
I know, and they all come with your signature, which is really exciting. I know everyone wants
those
that.
are at my house. Just I signed them just about a week ago. So just so you know, I touched every single one of those pictures. But I'm COVID free, so don't worry.
Can you hold up the signature, Grace?
Hi,
A little higher.
everybody. Really.
There we go. Look at that.
There's the signature for everyone watching.
Yeah.
You can kind of get a close-up of the print. I mean, it really does look exactly like the original. It's pretty incredible what you guys have managed to do. I mean, this is such...
Yeah, it's a quality print.
Oh yeah, it's such a beautiful piece of art. And I just want to mention for those who are watching who were not joining us in the beginning, these are available to purchase on our SLG shop, our website, which you can go to the Lynne Gallery's Instagram story and just simply swipe up and you'll be redirected to the website and then you can have your very own Bruja print of your own.
I'll post a link to it on my Instagram as well after we're done talking.
Great.
How about these last two?
Now, let's go ahead and move on to some of your other artworks that are new. Can you tell us a little bit about this one? Have you used, is this chalk and paint?
So the base of it, see, I haven't seen this framed either. You guys do a great job of framing. Congratulations.
It's a surprise for everyone and for you.
The base is watercolor, and then I went on top of it with oil pastel. And I kind of just go into a non-specific frame of consciousness and let the oil pastel tell me where to go. One of the fun things about painting, and I know that people out there listening who have ever painted or anyone interested in painting, I know JD there can relate to this. There are times when you have a very clear idea of what you want to accomplish in your mind, and sometimes you get there, and there's something fun about that. But the most enjoyable ones are the ones that have no clear destination, where you're basically giving yourself permission to just sort of wander creatively. And this piece is a perfect example of that. I was merely wandering through paint and ideas, and I didn't even intend on showing it. It was just something that was fun to be doing, and it just happened to turn out, kind of nice. So, and it looks even better framed.
Oh, it looks beautiful. It's really amazing.
Thank you.
And then, so down here we do have a blank spot. Now, this is your painting from Surf Lodge, and it is currently being stretched out and framed, and it will be available tomorrow. So it's not here now, but it'll be here very soon, and it's huge. We know that it's a huge piece. Can you tell us how big it is?
I don't know. I don't know if it can be measured.
Look, it won't even fit on the screen, Grace. Look at that.
So, it is 89 by 111 inches. So it's huge, and we cannot wait to have it delivered tomorrow and be installed into the gallery. So it'll be available to see tomorrow.
On the show.
And also, tomorrow night we have Reflection Fridays Live, which will be replaying this interview, and we'll be finally able to show this giant, amazing Surf Lodge piece, which can be our new surprise for tomorrow evening.
Nice. Right on.
And then last but not least, this image. Artwork.
That looks great too. This is this is amazing for me. I get to see all these pieces framed. They were just like pieces of paper on my floor. Now they're all framed and fancy looking. Thank you guys. Yeah, I remember doing this one too. I may have more for you guys there, JD. I have a few more paintings that were in the same sort of spirit and intention of this Impossible Knots series.
Well, I'll jump in here, Brandon, because I'm in here in the background with Grace. But yeah, these are amazing. And you're right. When we got them back today, framed, doesn't it just? It's like, yay!
So excited.
Yeah, yeah, they're amazing, my friend.
It's an exciting
So
moment.
excited.
Worked on framed. It's a little bit like they feel they're finished. This iteration of the art is finished. One of the other really cool things about the process of painting and, well, making anything, I suppose, whether it's art or music, is there's the idea that it's sort of finished from the the person that made it. So in this case, like I did that painting and it's like finished from my point of view. But one of the things that's fun about art to me is that it's never really final though. Like it'll live there for a while and then people will come in and see it and it's unfinished because they're interpreting it as they move past it. And then if it is lucky enough to move into someone's home for a period of time, then it like occupies that space and it continues, like there's a life of it, whether it's a song or whatever. It continues on and on and on. I like that.
Well, we love it here, and we're really excited to be able to have shown these to you, newly framed. I really love that you've not only included what you did on the previous artwork here, but also this amazing detail of this work here. I mean, it looks amazing, and I think this is one of my this method that you use is definitely one of my favorites because the attention to detail that you have is so amazing. And then when you see it in person, it's just fabulous to look at and really kind of fully engage in for a long time.
Yeah, thank you so much for saying so. I appreciate that. I love being able to obsess over something in kind of a safe environment. You know, obsession isn't necessarily something that is encouraged in us. And when it comes to art, though, I have permission to fully obsess and become like unnaturally engaged in something. And so I like to go into the tiniest details as I know how, as small as I can see, and then scale it back further and further and further. It's a lot of fun for me.
Oh, I love that. And you can definitely see how much you really care and the dedication to your artwork, because every piece that we receive and anything that we look at, it's just beautiful. And we feel very lucky to be able to have that here in the gallery.
You're sweet. Thank you so much.
Of course. So tomorrow night, those of you who are watching, be sure to tune in to our Reflection Fridays, where we will be streaming on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. I will put the links up available tomorrow, and we will be restreaming this great video with Brandon Boyd himself. Brandon, thank you so much for joining us and talking to us about your art and the new exciting Bruja print, which everyone was so happy to hear about. And we will be showing you the new South Lodge piece when it is readily installed in the gallery tomorrow.
Right on. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much. So don't forget, 7 o'clock tomorrow night, we will be restreaming this interview with Brandon. Brandon, thank you again. Last time I saw you, it was April, so very happy to have had this interview with you. I hope we can see each other soon once all this pandemic is over and we're all back to normal again.
Yeah, I hope to see you guys soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.